And welcome back to On the Record. Where do we go? Because of some of the people are saying that because of, I guess, the holes that aren't plugged into the citizenship, the membership issues, and everything else, that we're where we are now. And if those things were covered months or years ago, that we wouldn't be in this situation. You've sat on the Council of Elders. It's not there anymore. People are saying that, well, maybe we should bring it back, and what's the status of that, and how does that reflect, or how does the decision in that committee reflect on what's going on today?
Well, it's not that they're not there anymore. The Council of Elders have been suspended since the fall of 2007. So there is a possibility that it can be the suspension is lifted, but for now there's no activity going on. So and again, I don't know what was the reason for this issue being carried forward in the last in council before. I just know that now it's been brought to us again, and we're going to be handling it.
With the letters going out, I know that in the press release it says that, well, if the individuals don't leave, then we'll have the police, I guess, deal with it. And the only way that would be, I guess, escort them out of the community. But
that's still to determine. We haven't really decided if we're going to get the peacekeeper involved. I mean, being a former peacekeeper yourself and myself too, I mean, we only have limited a role in escorting someone out of the territory. I mean, I never personally did it, other than to, it has to be a criminal act or to maintain peace. That's something we have to discuss at the table, obviously, and with the input from the community. What if they don't leave? What should we do next? I mean, we the 12 of us sitting there should be able to come up with some sort of come up with an agreement on it, but also with the input from the community. If a person don't leave, what that is, I don't know. I couldn't tell you that right now. And who gets involved? Who do we form partnerships with to make sure they leave? I don't know. I couldn't.
Those questions, you must have some answers for them. I know that you're saying that you don't know who the partnerships are going to be with, or how that's going to play out, or what if. I'm sure that over the last year and a half or so, whether your table or whether your legal department has sat down and say, what's the next step? What's the next move? What do we do if all these things happen? Because that's the normal progression of any decision at the end of the day.
Well, we are reacting on the concerns from the community. And if that could be brought to the community again, if people don't want to leave, then what do we do? I could ask an individual what gives them, or what do they think gives them the right to be here? What rights do they want or think that they have, that they've been here for so long? I don't know.
I'm just, like I said, I'm playing more or less devil's advocate to both sides. I'm not pro or anti against whatever the situation is, but all these questions in the community are going to be asked, whether it's at the table or why we're doing it now, and it's because it's a result of what's been going on, and that there was some inactivity, I guess, as the decisions that were being made in the latter part of 2008, and now the letters are going to go out this week. So there had to have been some decisions made. There was a decision for 26 people to receive a letter to have to leave the community. What if? And that's the big question. I don't think that the community is going to decide that what if. I think the council has to decide the what if, because the action is taken by the council.
Well, all of us have a responsibility to the portfolios that we have, and now with the way the strategic discussions are part of the weekly sessions, it's our responsibility to bring our files forward and update the status. So it's not to say, gee, things are quiet over at MCK, and we need something to do. Carl is now the portfolio chief, and it's his responsibility to bring it forward, like any other portfolio that we hold. So it continuously has its highs and lows, like every other issue in the community. It's people are really alarmed by certain things at times, and then it does fall off the table. And, you know, we're back here, and it's a responsibility that we have to the community.
And the thing is, I'm new to council now, and new to the situation where like Rhonda said, where it was on the table before, and then now it's my job and my responsibility to make sure it's on the table, not on a daily basis, but on a weekly basis. Whether it's a month from now, 3 months from now, or 3 years from now, it's my responsibility to make sure it stays on the table for discussion and come up with strategies. We gotta figure something out. I mean, that's my job now, is to make sure that people are talking about it, and so we can move forward. And like I said, once again, think about the future generations, and we'll see what happens.
I don't think that, I guess the issue is gonna be more so with the non-native that receives the letter, but more so with the individual who they're residing with, and whatever the extent of that family is going to be. And that's what I'm talking about. In the past, I know that there's been different lawsuits in regards to situations that are happening like this, and maybe not on this scale, other than in 1973, which I remember quite well, and you probably remember the same thing. I don't think that we're in 1973 situation any longer, where people are gonna go knock on your door and move your furniture out and make you leave. But legally, where does the community stand legally on this issue? How do we deal with that legally if we have to?
Well, we know that there probably will be some that will go to court, but they have to prove that they have the right to be here. And I can't see any of them proving that.
When I was looking at doing this, I looked at a few things in regards to, I guess, the legalities of it, and I couldn't, I found some things, but it was tough because it was the interpretation of a lot of things in regards to the Indian Act and the new Bill C-21 that had come out to give individual rights in the community, opposed to collective rights of the community itself, and the Charter of Rights and all that. And I see some things playing in there, but it's back and forth. So even though the Indian Act says that we have the right to do that, where Mohawk Council says, there are some articles or addendums to that contradict that a bit. For Actors, we have a problem that every single time we make a decision, and I'm saying we as a community, there's a cost to it. And at what cost? The cost isn't just sending a letter. What's the cost of whatever legal fees are going to be, or how is that going to affect the community in 20 years from now? And if somebody sues and wins that, what does that do in regards to the MacGyver decision or anything else for the community? I don't know that. I haven't really looked at that, but I'm sure council must have looked at some of those issues.